Well, week 1 in the NFL 2025 season is now concluded, and if you're a guy who only watches prime time, you honestly caught some of the best games that you could have caught for a week 1 prime time. I mean, the Chargers upset the Chiefs, the Bills come back against the Ravens, JJ McCarthy proves he is him second half. So, without further ado, we're going to get all these games reviewed under 1 minute. Here we go. First game we start off, Eagles versus Cowboys. I mean, it was a very good game until that weather delay. The weather delay really messed everything up. The Cowboys proved to everyone that they have some in the tank even without Micah Parsons. So I think there's going to be a lot to show for that team. The coaching looked better. The defense actually looked better at run stop. So Micah was kind of lacking in the run stop department, but the defense looked better. Jalen Hurts looked kind of mid. He only threw one pass past 15 yards. You can see the chart. He was honestly getting clamped. That's the best way to explain it. So Eagles take that one 24-20 without Jalen Carter, so with a grain of salt. Next up, we have the Chargers versus Chiefs. I mean, I don't know how many people had the Chargers winning this, but I didn't, that's for sure. Justin Herbert played the best system quarterback game he could have. I mean, every receiver was open. I'm not going to hate too much, but I keep seeing people compare him to Burrow, and I just don't think that's true. And maybe it's just Twitter, but I just can't stand that. So Mahomes also really excelled at every single thing he could in this game. I mean, poor dude is carrying the team on his back. Xavier Worthy gets injured in the first. Reffing was good. I didn't see too many issues with it, but will the Chargers be contenders this year? Maybe I was wrong about them in my record prediction. Dolphins versus Colts. As a Giants fan, I personally like seeing Daniel Jones succeed, and I know a lot of Giants fans don't like Daniel Jones, so that was probably hard to watch for them. But someone like me, I'm going to root for Daniel Jones. I don't think it was his fault. I mean, look what's happening to Russell Wilson. That O-line was terrible. There was glimpses of Daniel Jones being great in New York, especially in that playoff game, but unfortunately, it just wasn't there. But with the Colts, got the pocket time, getting the passes through. It's not like he has elite receivers. I mean, Pierce is good. Pittman is all right, coming off a really bad season, but it's not like he has elite receivers. Tua, dude, what the heck? I advocated for you to my friends. I said maybe, I mean, the offense is really bad without him, so when he gets back, maybe it'll be good. I mean, this might, another injury here, we might need to get to retire because something obviously isn't right. And he had time on some of those throws, and he still threw it right to the other team, so it's a little confused. I don't think it's McDaniels' fault, but I do think that it is going to be blamed on him, unfortunately. So, hopefully, maybe the Giants will hire McDaniels, who knows. But I think the Dolphins will finally collapse this year, prior to my last video. Steelers versus Jets. Some would say 10 a.m. game of the day. Game of the day at 10 a.m. Who knows? But A-Rod surprised us all. I mean, 4 touchdowns is absurd. Justin Fields surprised us all, willing to put the team on your back at some points in this game and really do a lot of the heavy lifting. Garrett Wilson looked good. DK, I've seen him look better, but he looked pretty good. Jalen Ramsey, welcome back. I mean, talking to Garrett Wilson, talking all that talk, yapping in the last play of the game. You had to strap up there, so you did. And I mean, to see Jalen Ramsey do that, it just brings a smile to your face. It's been a long time since he's been able to provide the yap and then back it up. So I'm proud for Jalen. Good for A-Rod. I'm not the biggest fan of Aaron Rodgers' attitude, but good for A-Rod. But that's how it is. Panthers Jags. This is the one game I'm going to say I didn't watch too much of, but Etienne looked good from what I had seen. He's back in the scheme. He's back in the system, running the ball. Bryce Young, I've never been too much of a fan, but still looking like he's struggling. And anyone who took Brian Thomas over Derrick Henry in fantasy, you could be a moron. Derrick Henry flipped to me in my league. I was at 11. So, good week to be me in fantasy. I won. I'll show you guys my team at the end of the video. Cardinals versus Saints. I'm glad I didn't watch this one. This looked terrible. I didn't even see the highlights too much. I'm going to keep it there. I know I'm a football channel. I know I got to watch all these games, but I'm not going to watch that. I saw a couple of Twitter clips. Will Johnson would have hit. I'll put that on the screen. I feel bad for Chris Olave. At this point, it doesn't look like he can really catch a break in the NFL. He keeps getting hurt, and I don't know if that's due to scheming or it's just unfortunate he plays on the Saints, but that seems to be the case. What can I say about the Cardinals? 8-9. What can I say about the Saints? maybe now 3-14. This might have improved your stock. You guys didn't play too bad, it looks like. But Giants versus Commanders. Giants completely outclassed. Play calling was terrible. The way they were lining up their team was terrible. Commanders didn't look too much better. They were only up by 2 scores for like 2 halves. They had multiple opportunities to score. They just couldn't get it done. So the Commanders look sloppy. Giants look sloppier. And it comes out on paper that way too. You got in the goal line twice. No touchdowns. 2 field goals. The Commanders took advantage of brain dead coaching, but they didn't look as good as we thought they could. Buccaneers versus Falcons. My goodness, Baker Mayfield, you have the ability to just come up when you need to, and Emeka Egbuka. Do we have a situation like the Packers do with quarterbacks? Are the Bucs gonna have bad receivers? You go Vincent Jackson into Mike Evans into Emeka Egbuka? That's not fair, man. Leave receivers for everyone else, Bucs, and especially after drafting Jalen McMillan too. But that is actually insane. I'm glad for the Bucs to get that done. The Falcons looked like the 8-9 team I thought they would. You know, they get all the way to the end of the game and they just mess it up somehow. Michael Penix played better than I thought, but he is now 1-4 as a starter, or 3 as a starter, and he has good weapons. So I don't know what it's going to take for this team to win, but they need to start winning. Browns Bengals. I'm not going to take this one too serious. It's a Bengals week 1 game, and it's also against the Browns. It's like a double negative for the Bengals. They never play well against the Browns, and they don't play well on week 1. But you can't take this too serious. Jamar got strapped, and that I don't believe that happened last year. I could be wrong, but I don't believe that happened last year, so that's kind of interesting. And I also think that the Browns could have a good run game if Judkins is actually good. Judkins and Sampson might be nasty together. Fortunately, the receivers and the quarterback, I just don't know what to do. My fantasy guys, what do you think? I traded Josh Jacobs for Kamara. And Josh Jacobs and Judy for Kamara and Cheyasen. Tell me if that was a good trade in the comments. I think I won that trade. Next up, Raiders, Patriots. Patriots, you gotta win these games. I mean, you got Drake May, you got Diggs, you got your coach, you got your defense you wanted. No Christian Gonzalez, so I'll give you a slight pass. But Geno's not throwing too much there, but he's still managing to throw. And Bowers look good. Myers look good. I forgot that guy's name. Thornton looked good. So, Genty didn't look as good as we all thought he would week 1. It's a hard Mike Vrabel defense to play against. You know, he's put in a lot of people in that box to mess with Genty. So we'll have to see it, play out. But Genty, we want to see better from you, obviously. Like I'm his dad. But unfortunately, it just wasn't the game I think he wanted. So now we got these 1 p.m. games. I actually majority watched Niners, Seahawks, and Packers, Lions, and I also caught a good amount of the Titans, Broncos. Didn't see much of the Texans, Rams, so I won't be talking about that one that much. Niners, Seahawks. Niners look good while healthy. That's the caveat. And per usual, as the game goes on, just gotta crack, snackle, and pop on their legs, ligaments, body parts everywhere. Jake Moody got released as I'm recording this, which is kind of unfortunate, but we see it coming. A lot of my friends are Niners fans. I've watched a lot of Niners games. Of course, Jake Moody is being released. Do I continue to overrate Seattle's secondary? I think it looks good, but then Tariq Woolen, what are you doing most of the time? I'm watching you watch balls in the air, get stripped of the ball of your hands on a pivotal play of the game. At this point, I'm not sure Tariq Woolen is who we thought he is. I mean, he has the figure to be one of the most dominant cornerbacks of all time, but he just doesn't kind of seem to live up to that par. And Brock Purdy, what are we throwing sometimes? I'm very confused by you. I want to root for you, but you just throw bad balls. George Kittle's on my fantasy team, if you guys were wondering. 4 weeks. Someone's always injured there. But that's what it is. Titans, Broncos. I caught that second half of this game. What are we doing, Sean Payton? Especially on that game-ending 4th down, you just go for the field goal. I don't know what else to say there. Calvin Ridley's hands are bricks. Okay. Is Cam Ward throwing the ball too hard for his receivers? I know these are NFL caliber receivers, but at one point when they keep dropping them, I mean, you want to lighten it up just a little? Is that even possible for Cam Ward? Let me know, quarterbacks, in the comments. Is that possible for Cam Ward? He really, Calvin Ridley really angers me, though. Seriously angers me. And Bo Nix starts with a Nick on his stat sheet. You guys like that? I wrote that in my script. I'm not really following the script too much, kind of just saying what I thought of every game. But I just don't think Bo Nix played to what he was last year. And unfortunately, we're seeing a lot of sophomore quarterbacks kind of go through it right now. Stroud's the junior. We'll talk about him right now. Texans, Rams, 9-14. Like I said, I didn't catch much of this game. My friend was watching it and I was listening to him to talk about it. So I'm going to be a box score merchant, but I think Stroud played like buns. The offense played like buns. I saw the Puka highlight tape that the NFL Twitter posted. That looked good. I know Kyron ran in for his usual 1-yard touchdown. I don't find Kyron too impressive, but that is what it is. Lions versus Packers. The Pack is back. That's what I have here written. They look good, but could this be due to Detroit's coordinatorless self? I've been a Dan Campbell hater for quite a minute now, and without their coordinators, they look worse than ever before. That's not true. They went 0-16. They don't look worse than ever before, but they look pretty darn bad. And the best way to explain that is that Dan Campbell was never a good, he didn't have the offensive defensive mind to run a team. Maybe defensive more, but I mean, Aaron Glenn's defense looked not great, to be honest. I forgot they played the Steelers almost. They didn't look great, but their team looked good. And Ben Johnson's offense looked good for a quarter and a half till it fizzled out. So maybe they all need each other. Maybe they just mesh very well. Speaking of meshing very well, I forgot to mention Saleh was back in San Francisco and the defense looked great. So mesh. Steve Wilkes got fired, as you know. But Pack is back. I mean, Applebee's to reality. It was a harsh commercial to make, but now it's going to become Dan Campbell's reality. And I always thought he was so overrated. So we'll see it soon. Ravens Bills Sunday Night Football. That's the game you guys are all waiting for me to talk about. The MVP does his thing. You see the Josh Allen jersey back there. I'm a big fan. And it has to be against the Ravens. I mean, goodness gracious. The roster keeps getting better and better for Baltimore. I had just picked them to win the Super Bowl in my previous video. But just when it comes to the moments that matter, the Ravens fall apart. It's a primetime game. Starting off 1-0 on an away game would be huge. The Ravens up 15, blow the lead with 4 minutes left to go. That doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. And especially it makes it look worse when you realize the Bills went for like 4 2-point conversions and didn't get a single one. So you just think to yourself, damn, what does Lamar need? Is it coaching? What is happening in Baltimore? I know John Harbaugh came out after the game and was really talking down on Kyle Hamilton. I don't know why. All because of a lateral play, asking him if he even graduated from Notre Dame. So maybe those are just jokes, but I don't really think that's good for the locker room. And we'll have to see as the season goes on how that looks for John Harbaugh. Maybe this will be his final season. Finally, Monday Night Football. My friends are saying this game looked boring for the first half. I actually just think it was great defense from both sides of the football. There was no other way to look at it. It wasn't like major incompletions, like, damn, this is hard to watch. Maybe it got like that a bit in the second half, but then more scoring happened, so it made up for it. So I have to think here that the Vikings are a good team, and they just needed JJ McCarthy to get going a little. I do think he's going to struggle more throughout the season, of course, but he did look really good in that second half, and I was rooting for him. I kind of just felt bad for him out there in that first. Oh my God, and the Bears. Caleb, you need to make passes to open players. There's no way around it. And you need to not dance around in the pocket too much and then get an intentional grounding and put your kicker in a harder field goal, and then he misses it. Also, Cario Santos, you suck. I don't know how you've been floating around the league. You've been sucking. You were told to kick the ball through the end zone. How did you not manage that? It's standard kickoff. It's on a tee for you. I know my kicker friend tells me that it should be easier when it's on a tee for you. So next time, why don't you kick it through the end zone, use that brain of yours, and make that field goal? We would have had a better game. Jay Jettas looked good towards the end. It was looking rough in that first half. A credit to the Bears without Kyler Gordon and Jalen Johnson to be that well off on defense. Their front seven looked pretty good. Dexter looked a lot better than I expected. I told my friend, like, they had asked me, what are the Bears on the D-line? I said, Dexter. Jatavian, whatever, G. Dexter. I know that's his name. Senior. And they laughed in my face, but I said, this guy, like, he looked good last year. So I'm glad to finally see that on paper and come to fruition. Now that is the week. I am going to now make my own segment called The Hot Seat. The first coach on the hot seat. You guys are going to be surprised by this. It's going to be Dan Campbell. I just think his time is coming soon. And if they don't get it together, it'll be coming sooner and sooner. Sorry, Detroit football, you guys look back to being mediocre. With the talent on the roster, I don't think they'll be there for long. I mean, they will be there for a mediocre spot for long, but I think the talent will start leaving soon enough. They had a lot of chances to come back in this Lions-Packers game. They just couldn't get it done. They were getting the stops sometimes, but something looks wrong internally. The offense doesn't look the same at all, and obviously, Ben Johnson molded that to what it needed to be. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh. Maybe it takes time to build that, and obviously, it does take time to build that chemistry. The Lions were not good the first year Ben Johnson was there, but it took time to build it. But when you get some of your old linemen robbed, and a lot of that stuff happens, improvements need to be made. And next up is Brian Daboll. What are you doing? Why is Abdul Carter in the second half only playing 41% of snaps? Why is Abdul Carter and Brian Burns only playing 20 plays in the whole game together? This doesn't make sense. Don't allow your defensive coordinator to do those things and fire your offensive coordinator. He doesn't know what he's doing. It looks ridiculous. If it's not working when you're running inside the tackles, stop fucking doing it. Like, seriously, stop doing it. It hurts my eyes to watch this team play football because you see something that doesn't work, and then you just don't do it. And then I see Giants fans talking about, oh, Malik Neighbors is such a diva. He had 12 targets. Yeah, once again, just like last year, if you're getting your targets, 8 of your targets in the second half when it doesn't matter and you're already down by 17, I think he could give less shits. I think he wants to be up and get the targets. I think he wants to get the targets in the first 10 drives of the game. Like, make it make sense, Giants Twitter. Are you guys brain dead or not? Like, seriously. But Brian Daboll is in the hot seat for sure, and Joe Schoen might be with him, the GM, because what are we doing? Like, Deontay Banks going to play in 11 snaps, trade him. Jalen Hyatt, you're not going to play a single snap, trade him. Teams are offering third-round picks for these guys. Trade them then if you're not going to play them. Seriously, maybe sit down with your coach and speak to him. John Mara, fuck you. Next up, the hottest seat of them all, somehow not Brian Daboll, is Mike McDaniels. I just don't know what's going on here. One, I can tell you a little bit of what's going on, actually. The O-line is absolutely atrocious. Tua has gotten more head injuries than playoff wins. And 3, the defense, the secondary is shite. It just, like, those are recipes for disaster in football, and the Dolphins have them just one by one. And on top of that, their pass rush isn't that good because Jalen Phillips his legs can't stay intact. The poor man, I feel so bad for him, especially after watching that Hard Knocks. He looks like a good dude. It's just an unfortunate situation there. Brian Flores might have been right. Justin Herbert should have been the pick in Miami. So, those things are all true. And that's the NFL Week 1 season for you. As we go on, we'll get more segments, we'll have more fun, I'll become more comfortable on camera. I actually think I did pretty well talking to you guys. Like I said again, like the last video. Let me know if I'm talking too fast in the comments. If you stayed this long, thank you for watching. This was NFL Week 1. Thanks.